Naughty Dog.
But they're not. But I think... Naughty Dog, but they're not. But I think they might do it. Welcome to another discussion video. Today's topic is about this screenshot or these screenshots. Right here. And holy shit, these got my mind racing. A picture can tell 1,000 words. And this one in particular, look... So, it might be hard for me to articulate myself now because emotions and stuff like that, my vocabulary is already not that great, but hey, relax. Hey, anyway, if you're new, welcome to the channel. Feel free to join the deck game by subbing with all notifications. Here, we focus on story-based games with the occasional meme. If you have any theories or any possibilities that I didn't mention about what could take place here, please do comment them down below and stay safe. So the most obvious scenario I can think of, and I'm assuming that majority of people are thinking of right here, is that what if Ellie, right here, what if she finds out the truth that Joel lied about the cure? Could be they're having a discussion about Joel not wanting her to go on revenge and that's why she's sad, you know what I'm saying? But I think that this might be after shit hits the fan in the cabin. She goes on her solo dolo, they reunite. Maybe Joel wants to stop her from finding revenge or something, or maybe Joel blames himself for what happened in the cabin. But, so let's break down ways I can think of if Ellie were to find out the truth, how would she do that? Could be that it isn't Joel, but somebody else tells her somehow, some way. Hear me out. It seems this scene takes place when Ellie is on her solo dolo wave and she's encountering the WLF, and that after a while Joel catches up to her. So, what if either before or after Joel catches up to her, maybe the WLF heard about the Fireflies or know about something, like they heard rumors about a group trying to find a cure. Because Joel didn't clear out all the Fireflies. Maybe the remaining Fireflies, you know, there are a few left, and they, you know, they try to regroup, they try to, you know what I'm saying, they try to rebuild, and they're getting a little bit more desperate to find Ellie or somebody that might be immune, so rumors spreads more easily, so to say. Let's say Ellie's on her solo dolo, right? Maybe she overhears a few members of the WLF or Seraphites or some group talking about, you know, Fireflies, a group trying to find a cure, and she's like, what? Huh? And then, you know, maybe she sneaks up on them, subdues them, and we get like an interrogation scene, the way we did with Joel in part 1, where she's like, yeah, She got WLF members, Seraphites or whatever, and she kind of, yeah, she's like, tell me, man, you heard, yeah, you mentioned about a group finding a cure?
Tell me. No.
No, I don't, hey. Oof, well, what if, like, she's even more ruthless with Joel torturing and whatever, oof. Part 2 already seems to have a little bit of a parallel thing going on with part 1. Maybe we get something like this, and we see Ellie torture more, in a more cruel way than Joel did. Hey, I don't know. I think that most likely Joel's gonna tell her somehow, some way. I don't think she's gonna overhear it from another group, since it seemed like Fireflies were kind of kept it on the hush-hush about trying to find a cure, like trying to keep it secret. But it could be that, you know, they're getting desperate, not a lot left, and rumors spread. I don't know. All I know is that from a story standpoint, I would want Ellie to find out the truth. Listen, I don't want Ellie to get hurt, of course. Like, having her confront Joel about that, like, I feel like deep down, obviously she knew, but having her confront Joel about that and having that, you know, having to open up that wound again, that would really hurt. Like, because I care about these two characters and stuff like that. But from a story standpoint, it would add another layer to the story. It would just, oof. Like I said, it would be great for the overall story, for her character and for Joel's character, having their story hit another milestone type deal. So let's discuss a possibility of, like, what if Joel actually would tell her the truth? What would press him so hard that he would tell the truth? Because he's been lying for like 5 years, why would he tell the truth now? Maybe he feels guilty for whatever happens in the cabin and he blames himself. He's been lying to somebody he views as his own daughter for years. And maybe whatever happens in the cabin, he sees that Ellie's upset and he feels like it's kind of on him. And he wants Ellie to know that. Maybe he feels like he could stop her from being too reckless and going on her solo dolo revenge journey. That's kind of it's risking her life. It could be that, this scene and these screenshots take place at different times and are not part of the exact same scene. Just maybe the same chapter, the same environment, obviously. Because the background environment looks a little bit different. Could just be the angles and they just changed the environment, from when we saw the trailer. But what if, Joel reunites with Ellie here? They go on their revenge quest for a while, and then they hit an obstacle or a dead end somehow. Maybe they find out how big the group Ellie wants to get back on really are, and that realistically it would be a suicide mission to continue further. So Joel tries to take the blame on himself because he thinks that it would shift Ellie's focus maybe, and instead of being primarily mad at the group, so instead of her being mainly mad at the group, if he shifts that aggression towards him, maybe he feels like maybe that would stop her on her revenge journey, and she wouldn't risk her life that recklessly, stuff like that. Because going on a revenge journey, we don't know how, like Tommy said, you don't know how big that group are, you don't know how armed. Going solo on a revenge journey, that's reckless, man. You're risking your life, Ellie. Don't So maybe then Joel, tries to take the blame for himself because, maybe he feels like also that, what if we found a cure by now? Maybe the world could have been different. And maybe then he tells Ellie that, blame me for whatever happened in the cabin. The world could have been cured. I lied to you about the fireflies. Maybe society could have been closer to what it was before the outbreak. Maybe we would have less humans pitted against each other, fighting for supplies, eating each other, and everything in between. Woo! I'm sorry if I repeat myself a lot, my brain running, and I don't really have emotions, man. This get nervous, anxious, but I can't, look at this, man. Look at this screen. Ellie is torn here. Ellie is, she's about to cry, man. Joel, what did you do? If Ellie actually full on blames Joel, I'd understand that. Part 1 was about love, according to Neil, and part 2 is gonna be about hate. What if Ellie grows to hate the person that she once loved and kind of sees as her father? That would hurt so bad, and would be really a symbolic 180 switch from a story standpoint. Like I've said, I don't want them to get hurt, both of them. Part of me don't want this to happen to Ellie, her finding out the truth and possibly blaming Joel for whatever happened in the cabin, since it would break my heart. But from a story standpoint, it would really be like a bam boom bada bing boom. So to summarize, I do think the chances of Ellie finding out the truth about the cure are kind of high, whether it's in this scene or whether it's in another. I think either Ellie finds out the truth from another group, or maybe even Tommy or Maria, although it's not confirmed, correct me if I'm wrong, that Maria knows specifically about Ellie being immune, since we never heard Tommy mention it directly, just that he needed to take Ellie to the fireflies. Or another possibility, Joel directly tells her about the truth because he feels guilty for whatever happened in the cabin, and maybe he wants to try to get her to stop her solo dolo revenge mission. But those are my thoughts. Now what about yours? Do you think Ellie will find out the truth? And if so, in what way can you picture it? Comment your thoughts and discuss with each other down below. Stay safe. Like, share, sub with the bell if you're new. Whatever you want to do, endure and survive. And I'll see you when I see you.